we discovered him, at least for our group here. In 2007, Linda brought Stephen in from California, where she was living, where Stephen was living. We had the good fortune for Linda to move here. We had a full-day seminar that was attended by 80 people. This is back in 2007. And since that day, the name Stephen Key has come up at virtually every Inventors Network meeting. He has visited us at least 5 times. And that day in 2007, along with the subsequent visits and the ongoing friendship that our club has with him, have both made a game-changing difference to our club and our membership. So we're very happy to have Stephen here with us tonight, and Linda as well. So if you are here tonight, you probably have read much of the material and publicity about Stephen. He has 4 books, I guess maybe 5, because he substantially revised his One Simple Idea book. He has endorsements from Michael Jordan, Alex Trebek, and Taylor Swift. He's a frequent contributor to Forbes and Entrepreneur magazine. He's done licenses on 20 of his own products. He has multiple businesses that have been built around his inventions and his love for invention. One of those businesses is InventRight, which he's the founder of, co-founder of. And all of these are bullet points, but behind them all is something very special. And that is Stephen Key cares about inventors. He wants us to be successful, and he wants us to be united. In the past year, he founded the Inventors Group of America, otherwise known as IGA. Various clubs, including ours, are members of this group. We have monthly Zoom meetings. Up to 40 presidents of the various groups across the country are on these, involved in these meetings. We share best practices. We have a substantial, impressive website developed in large part by Stephen. In April, the inaugural annual conference took place in Washington, D.C. The U.S. Patent Office Director, Yanko, was there. He spoke to us as a speaker. Nothing like this has ever happened in the inventor community, which for the most part did not exist until Stephen became involved and concerned about inventors and innovation and what we can bring. We are now united, strong, and positioned for success. Let's share our appreciation with extending Stephen Key a warm Inventors Network welcome.
First of all, I'm so excited to be here. And Steve, thank you very much. What a great introduction. I'm proud to be here tonight. And I also want to thank Linda Pollock for, I think you're right, she discovered me. And she believed in me when I don't think anybody really did. No one was listening to me or even cared that I had this way of bringing products to the market. But Linda knew it, she saw it. She's been supporting me through 20 years, basically, I think. And she's a very good friend of mine. I'm so glad to see her here tonight. And I don't think I would be here tonight if it wasn't for Linda Pollock. And I don't think I probably wouldn't be helping as much if it wasn't for Linda Pollock. So, Linda, thank you very much. Looking back, I remember my first product that came to market, and I remember how it felt. And I was in my late 20s. I'm in New York. It's winter, and I visited F.A.O. Schwartz Toy Company. I had designed a plush animal, and it was in the toy store. And I couldn't believe it. Snow was falling. I walked in and I saw my first product on a shelf at one of the largest toy companies in the world. It was magical, and I'll never forget that feeling. And I also won't forget, the first time I saw my product I did on TV, it was the Michael Jordan wall ball. And I remember making that prototype out of paper, and it took about $10, and it was really simple. And the next thing I know was on every toy store in the end cap. It sold for over 10 years. And the commercial would come on Saturday morning. I just thought this is the most incredible thing. I couldn't believe I could figure this out. And I also remember, building a prototype of Kinko's, and I had a little drawer there, and I came up with this idea of a rotating label. And I went down to Walmart across the street from Kinko's and grabbed that container and went to my office at Kinko's and tore that label off, and I made that spin label. And the next year, Alex Trebek was on TV, and that spin label was selling in every Walmart 1 year later. I walked back into that Kinko's after that, and they all applauded because they saw me make that prototype on my coffee machine. And I remember all those experiences, and it was the most amazing journey. So I'm really happy that I'm able to share this journey with you tonight, because I know how hard it is to do this, and I know you've probably been struggling, right? Who's been struggling trying to bring your ideas to market? Show of hands, a few. All right. Well, I'm going to show you tonight a way of doing it so you don't have to struggle. I'm going to show you a way tonight that anybody can do this. I'm going to show you how you can start tomorrow, because things have changed. In fact, I was laughing about when I was licensing a lot of ideas, there wasn't the internet, right? And I was sending ideas over to a fax machine, and I was doing next day FedEx, and I was trying to find companies, and those were the days I was trying to license ideas, and it was fairly easy then, so it's so much easier now. And I'll talk about licensing, and let me get started because I have a lot of material I want to go through. Before I start though, how many people are not members here? Raise your hand. All right. I met my partner Andrew Krause at Inventors Group, and that's one of the reasons why I'm here. Because I have a lot of information. How many people watch my YouTube videos on YouTube? We have 450 videos on there. There's so many videos. But you know what's happening? No one's that successful just watching videos. Because you need more than information. You need the network. Steve's right. You see, this organization is the community. That's why I'm here. You need to get together. You need to gather. You need to talk. Because there's people here that can help you. There's engineers. There's going to be people that are going to talk about patents and attorneys you have on. You're going to save yourself thousands of dollars. So that's why you have to join your group and support it. It's your community. It's my community. That's why I'm here. So if you're not a member, join, because tonight's a great opportunity. You're gonna get a discount. You're gonna get a couple extra months, and you're gonna hear some great speakers, and you're gonna network. Because I can guarantee your spouse is tired of hearing this. So you need to find your community. So please, if you're not a member, please join, because you're going to find some amazing people. And the people that run these organizations are angels. They're volunteers. And they do it because they love it. They do it every month, and they've done it for years. And that's why I'm proud to be part of a new organization called IGA, because I know all these presidents over the years. I've met them all. They're all wonderful people, but they're volunteers. And they need your support, right? And they can help you. Steve's licensed an idea. He knows how to do it now, so he's in the game. And if you join, corner him. And get all the information. So please think about it. I think it's a smart thing to do if you want to save yourself time, energy, money. All right, so I'm going to jump in. The traditional way of bringing a product to market up here, I don't think works very well. And this is the traditional way. I'm going to write a business plan. I'm going to raise money. I'm going to do the manufacturing. I'm going to do all of it. I don't think this has ever worked very well. I think it's hard. And I think today it doesn't work. It's even harder today because you have Amazon, right? Anybody can take a product into market really, really fast. So this is the traditional way, and I'm not wild about it. And so tonight I'm going to talk about another alternative, because I know the traditional way some people don't have the time, the money, experience, or even the desire to start a business. I don't. I had a business, and we were making little guitar picks. I'll get to that in a minute. It took a lot of money and it was a lot of work. And I realized I don't want to do that. I want to be creative. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. How to license your ideas, collect royalties, and let those companies that are already in business bring your ideas to market faster. By the way, it's the best protection you can have. And you're going to hear that next month with Josh Malone. Because Josh Malone had a little issue with his product, and sure enough, he licensed it to a company that became real big, and now that company's protecting him in the marketplace. So licensing is helping him. So let's go. Let's see. There's another way of licensing. You're basically just going to rent an idea to a company. You know what I like about this? It's really a perfect partner. It's a partner that has shelf space. It's a partner that has money, relationships, manufacturing. It has everything you need. That's what licensing is. Basically, you're going to rent your idea to a company that can take your product to market and bring it so fast that's actually going to protect you in the marketplace. I'm going to step back in time for just a minute, and if you heard me told the story, I have to tell it again, because when I was a young man, I was at Sackler University, and I'm really surprised they even let me in. I wasn't very good at school, and my dad was in business, and he said I should go into business, so I became a business major. And I started taking all these business classes, and I realized right away I didn't like it at all. And by accident, I took an art class. It was off campus in this really dingy little building. I loved it. I went in there, and time just, I don't know, just disappeared. So I worked with my hands, and I know everyone here understands that feeling when you work with your hand. It's a magical thing, right? That's why you're here tonight. You know what that feels like to create something from nothing. So I went home. I told my dad I want to be an artist. He said, "That's fantastic." He said, "Well, you must like to draw." I said, "Well, no." He said, "Well, you must want to paint, right? You're a painter." I said, "Well, no." So my father did something that was very brave. And he said, "Why don't you go and try to be an artist?" Now, that's really amazing. I'm surprised he said that to me, but he did. So I jumped off the cliff. And he told me a very important lesson. He says, "Look, if you really find something you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life." And he was right. Because someone asked me tonight, you're going out, you're speaking to a group, and that must be hard work. This isn't hard work. It's never been hard work. It will never be hard work. Because I love this industry. I love ideas, and I love seeing my ideas come to market. And I love even seeing other people's ideas come to market. It's pretty wild. It's a fun thing. Like, it gives me goosebumps when I think back of all the times I've seen it. So my dad was right. And I went over to San Jose State. I enrolled in the art department, and I realized I wasn't going to be a great artist. It was going to be really hard to make a living. So what did I do? I just started making stuffed animals. And I sold them at street fairs, county fairs, any place I could set up a table. And at that time, my father, friends, thought I was absolutely out of my mind. And I was loving every minute of it, because I got to be creative. I got to meet some wonderful people along the way. And I also learned one very important lesson, and it's a lesson I'm going to talk about tonight. You have to create something that someone wants, and you have to do it fast. If you want to pay the rent, pay the mortgage, and eat, you have to figure out if people really want my idea. Do they really want it? And I'm going to talk about how you can test that market so fast now. So that's what I learned selling on street corners, which is the best experience I ever had. Yeah, you got to create a product that people want. As simple as that. And how do you know? Someone asked me, a young man today asked me, I got all these ideas, but how do I know which one to work on? We'll talk about that. Because I don't think anybody really knows. So I'm a little older now, my late 20s. And I'm in Fremont, California. It's Sunday, and I'm reading the paper, and there's this article about this startup company called Worlds of Wonder, and they had a prototype picture of this talking teddy bear, and this startup was going to take it to market. It was going to be the first talking teddy bear to come to market, called Teddy Ruxpin, and that bear was so ugly. it was a prototype. And I was making stuffed animals. So I just said to myself, Monday I'm going to go knock on the door and see if they'll hire me. And sure enough, that's exactly what I did. I knocked on the door, a little trailer, a bunch of engineers in there, and I walked in. I said, "That teddy bear is ugly. You need to hire me." And guess what? They did. I was surprised. And they shipped me off to Worlds of Wonder, where Teddy became the #1 hit. We sold over 5 million Teddy Ruxpins at $89. We became one of the largest toy companies in the world with one idea. And when I went over there, I was on the production line, and I thought I'd be over there for a couple of weeks. 3 months later, I'm still on the production line. 3 months. And it dawned on me, because I was not real happy, I wanted to go home, and it dawned on me that something my father told me. He said, in order to create wealth, you have to find something that doesn't require your hands or your presence. And you need to find something that has a multiplying effect. And it dawned on me that what he was talking about was licensing, right? Because the creator of Teddy Ruxpin, Ken Forsey, wasn't there. I was there. And he was collecting $1 million in royalties a year. Oh, a month. Sorry, a month. It was amazing. And I saw that firsthand. So eventually I got back home and I quit Worlds of Wonder to start my own company, because I thought I can do this. And I definitely didn't want to be on someone's production line. I wanted to be on my production line, not somebody else's. So lesson number 3, my father told me, just like I said, create great wealth. You have to find something that doesn't have these, right? And or your presence, and that's a multiplying effect. So what do I do? Landed in the creative capital of the world, Modesto. I know you don't think that's funny, because if you knew what that was, you'd probably be laughing now. It's just a farming community. It's a wonderful place. And I moved there. My wife took a job I met my wife at Worlds of Wonder. And we moved to Modesto. She became vice president of marketing for Gallo Winery, the highest ranking woman in the history of the company. And she was going to let me start my business. So what I started to do, because I knew if I didn't come up with ideas quickly, I was going to have to get a job. And I didn't want a job. I also knew if I wasn't successful, my wife was going to kick me to the curb real fast. So I figured something out along the way. I looked at products that I liked, and I just made small improvements on them. And the first one was a backboard here. It's called Hoops. It was an indoor nerve game by Ohio Art. And I like to play basketball, so I was using it in my office, but I thought it was pretty boring. And I thought Michael Jordan should be big. He's my hero. So I went down to Hallmark and I bought a poster of Michael Jordan. I cut it off, put it on the backboard. And I thought, well, this is the coolest thing. This is my big idea. And I couldn't wait for my wife to get home, Janice, because she was in, new products was her specialty. She went to Stanford, she got an MBA at Northwestern, smartest woman I've ever met. And I'm thinking, well, this is really perfect. I'm going to come up with ideas, show it to my wife, and she's going to pick which ones are winners. So I couldn't wait for her to get home, and sure enough, she got home. Later that night, we got into bed, and I had my big sketch pad. I'm going to tell you, gentlemen, that's not a great thing to do. So I went through the list of all these ideas, and the very last one was this backboard in the shape of Michael Jordan. And I'm thinking, this is the greatest idea I've ever had. And I showed it to my wife, and she said, well, this is stupid. She said, the chances of licensing that idea are 1 in a million. So what did I do? The very next day, I did what we needed to do. I sent it off to Ohio Art. And I had a licensing agreement that came through the mail 3 days later. And it sold for over 10 years. The first year was $100,000 in royalties. It was on every end cap and every toy store, sold everywhere. It probably cost about $10 to make. And I was dumbfounded by it. It was that simple. And I remember sitting on the couch Saturday morning, and I'm over here, and Jess is over here, and the kids are here. Saturday morning cartoons come on, and there's this commercial. Michael Jordan comes on. And he's the backboard's there, and he takes the ball, shoots it, goes in, and looks over at everybody, and goes, best looking backboard I've ever seen. And I'm on the end of that couch. I look over at my wife. So one of the most important lessons I learned is that the only opinion that matters isn't your friend, isn't your spouse, it's nobody. The most important opinion that matters if you're going to license an idea to a company is the company. Because we have a tendency to ask everybody, what do you think, what do you think, what do you think, what do you think? Don't do that, because they could be wrong. Can you imagine if I listened to my wife? Right? So don't do that. Don't listen to anybody. So what do? I come up with simple ideas, make simple improvements. And the reason why I do that, if I see an idea I really like and I make an improvement, I know there's a market for it. It's already selling. Easy. If I make a small improvement on an idea that's already in the market, most likely it can be manufactured. Ooh, see, I took some risks away. So do I consider myself an inventor? No, not at this point. I consider myself a product artist. I just change things up a little bit the way I like to see them. And if a company likes it, they pay me a royalty. Now, I didn't know anything about patents at the time. I didn't know that you were supposed to do it a certain way. I didn't know any of those things. I just knew one thing. If I showed a great idea to a company and they liked it, they were going to pay me. That was how simple it was. It wasn't complicated. Because I didn't ask anybody, and I didn't know any better. I was pretty naive, but it worked. So I started licensing ideas in all these different industries, from packaging to stuffed animals to even little arrows with a suction cup to one step on you. I believe someone paid me for that. You know, what's so crazy about it? I did build a prototype. I didn't file any intellectual property. I didn't do all these things but one. And that little, I just sent them a one-line description: plastic arrow with messages with a suction cup. And I called it Sweet Darts. And they took it. I was like, well, this is easy. This is not hard. All right, the reason why I like licensing so much is speed to market. Today, you guys, even if you start a business and you're successful, I will guarantee it, you'll have competition on Amazon before you get blink. You cannot stop anybody from copying you anymore. Josh, we'll talk about that. It's impossible. So there's strategies to live with it. I'll talk a little bit about that. It's just reality. It doesn't bother me a bit. There always are going to be copies. If you're lucky enough for someone to copy you, congratulations. That means you're selling. It just, all it means is that you have this big, nice, warm apple pie, and you want all the apple pie. No, you're going to have to give a couple slices away. That's all it really means. So, speed to market, no financial risk. I love it. There should be protection up here. There isn't. That's what Josh Malone has, protection from a big company, of course. You don't have to quit your day job. Don't do that. Don't do anything silly. You can live anywhere, focus on being creative. These are some really nice things to do. And you just be creative. And that's what I want to do. But a few years back, Linda remembers this day. A good friend of mine came to my office and said, hey, let's go in the guitar pick business. Why? No. You're creative. You can come up with different guitar picks. I go, I don't play guitar. He said, but not. So I jumped in and I created my first guitar pick. It was in the shape of a skull. I went down to Hot Topic, and everybody was wearing skulls. And I'm 50 years old, and they wondered why I was in there. I was wondering why I was in there. But I saw skulls everywhere, so I made a guitar pick in the shape of a skull, and it became a huge hit. It became one of the largest manufacturers of guitar picks in the world. And all it did was change the shape on the existing idea. That's all it did. became a Taylor Swift, got to know her and her family. She licensed it. She saw my product at a gas station in Nashville. And her father called me. My office was so happy. It was at lunchtime. James, who's been with me for 20 years now, I came back from lunch and goes, guess who called? I said, well, who? He goes, Scott Swift. I said, well, who's Scott Swift? It was Taylor Swift's dad. I said, who's Taylor Swift? So anyway, I started this business, became a Disney licensee. We sold them at Walmart, 7-Eleven, we sold them all around the world. We sold so many of these movie projects. I had 30 people in the factory. I was hating every minute of it. I just got the first order from Walmart, and I'm so happy. I finally landed the big fish. It's a $500,000 order. Big order. That's a lot of guitar picks. So I went down to the bank with my purchase order for guitar picks, and the banker and my wife, and they said, "There's no way we're going to loan you money." I go, "This is a purchase order." They said, "It doesn't matter." And that's when I realized I had to write a check for $250,000 to float that myself. And I happened to have the money. I wrote it, and I realized I could spend $250,000 on an order. Hopefully they order again. Well, they did. The problem is they did it. And I had to write another check again. And people don't realize that piece of plastic, that plastic was 3 cents. And I was floating that much money, right, for a piece of plastic. So when you're in business, it takes a lot of money. It just does, you guys. I know a lot of you think, well, I'm just going to build it, have a little inventory, and I'm going to sell it on Amazon. Before you know it, you still have that inventory in your garage, right? So I learned a tough lesson here. I sold the company to my partner, still in business today. But I realized I didn't want to do this. I wanted to be creative. That's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to have 30 people in a warehouse. That's the last thing I wanted to do. So I'm going to give you the roadmap of how to get started now. You don't have to start a business. In fact, I'm teaching my first college class on this topic. You don't have to start a business to launch a product. I'm teaching at the University of Newcastle. That's in Australia, February 2019, and it's accredited. Now, I barely graduated from high school. Now I'm a professor. Who would ever have thought that would happen? So anyway, they loved it too because he said, Steve, you really got this licensing thing down. That's every single week you see a licensing deal out there, right? Every single week now. And we've done that for over a year. Every single week. There's no company on the planet that can do it like we do it. Doesn't hurt them. That's just what I'm going to explain to you tonight. Anybody can do it. That's what I love about it. We have students that are 15 years old and 82 years old. And you don't have to start a business. You can do it, save yourself a lot of heartache, and you can do it very quickly. You see, they have startups. The University of Newcastle, 40,000 students. And they have startups, incubators, accelerators. And that's a hot thing, right? Startups. Everybody, that's hot. The successes are very low. That's what the colleges have realized. It's a long tail. It might take years before you see something happen. And they said, Steve, if you can get our students in the game fast to learn about protection, original patent applications, marketing, reaching out to companies, that class is worth, that's gold to us. And if you get these kids to become successful, I can take this all many campuses now. So you'll be seeing that. I'll be writing about that experience. And guess what? I don't even have to be there. I can do the classes, record them, and they just play them. Isn't that nice? It's amazing. So looking forward to that. Here it is. In BitRight, 20 years on one principle. We build a company on one principle alone. Sell the benefits before you sell the product. What does that mean? See, the old way is that I'm going to build it. I'm going to I come up with an idea. I'm going to file a patent. And then I'm going to start a company, raise money, all that kind of stuff, right? And then I'm going to show the people, see if they want it or not. Wow, what a risk that is. That's going to take time and a lot of money, right? sell the benefit first and see if there's any interest. And if there's interest, then do the rest if you want to. But if there's no interest, find another idea. But do it as fast as you can. Fast. And I'm going to show you how to do that. All right, study the marketplace. I'm going to go through this fairly fast, you guys. All this information, you can find this in the yellow book I have. How many people read one something like that? Raise your hand. Wow. Thank you very much. I remember when McGraw-Hill contacted me to write that book, and I thought, why are they calling me? I'm not a writer. I'm going to tell a few stories tonight. You're going to realize I can do very little. Because writing is not one of my skills. And in fact, I went to a high school reunion last 2 years ago, and someone said, Steve, you write books, right? No. You write books. And then someone said, I was in a circle, said, that's impossible. And I was going, and he said, because I was in his English class. And I was so the first thing you want to do, you want to study the marketplace. You'll find that in your yellow book, One Simple Idea, you find it on the videos. Basically, this is, you know what you're doing, you're looking at the landscape, and you're going to determine, do I have a unique product? That's all it is, and you can do it. You can do it on the internet at night if you want to. Keep looking, keep looking. That's to me the most important first step. If you find something similar to your idea, congratulations, that's a really good thing. If you don't find anything at all, even remotely like it, I'd be a little worried, right? Because it might require some education, but I want to make sure the market, there's something similar, I'm just going to take a look at that. And how do you do that? You do it two different ways. Do a Google image search, really simple. Go on Google, take a look around, go down to the retailer, take a look around. Guess what? You don't find it. You find something similar. Perfect, there's an opportunity. Next thing you do a prior art search. How many people have done that? Well, that's all fun, isn't it? Wait, that's a great time, isn't it? You know, the only time that's really fun is when you're ready to, you go to bed and you cannot fall asleep. Read one of those prior arts. You'll fall asleep real quick, guarantee it. You have to learn how to do this. All right, and have fun with it, because you're going to learn a lot about the process or the steps or the innovation when you read somebody else's patent. And they'll have some references, you'll know the history. I think it's fascinating, but it's taken me a long time to feel that way. If I have an idea that's not in the marketplace, but if I find a private patent, don't worry about it. Because I don't care about the prior patents. I don't care at all. Because if it hasn't hit the market, there's a reason why. Let me find out the reason why. So you have to be kind of a detective. So don't ever let this stop you. In fact, a lot of startups have been told, don't look for prior art, but you stop. I've been told that startups, attorneys tell startups, don't look. You'll find something, you might stop. But if it's not on the market, that's what you go for. Because you can always get around prior patent. Always. I'll answer that real quick. He asked if there's a prior patent, right? And then maybe I brought it to the market. Well, someone asked me that the other day. So what happens? What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst? They call you? Hey, that's my idea. Okay. You want to go to court? No. Can you get to court? No. How about we cut a deal? Okay. See, business is business, right? There's always a way to work around it. So that's the big one, you guys. Is see if Google it and see if you can find it. Step number 2. The only thing I do when I have an idea, I want to make sure it can be manufactured. And most patents don't have any manufacturing. Most patents never recoup the money it takes to get them. And when you go to the USPTO, this is not being recorded, is it? Is that recorded there? Let's talk about the USPTO for just a minute. Has everybody been there? It's an amazing building, isn't it? I mean, it's like when you go to a church over overseas, over in Europe, you walk in there and you feel about that big. It's 14 stories high, it's a big glass, beautiful building. But what's crazy about it, they built that on patents that never recouped the cost of filing. Yeah, I said it. Don't post that later. And what's really sad about that is that to me is a problem. And we need to fix that. I wrote an article recently just on Forbes of how to fix that. How to avoid a worthless patent. Because if only 5% are worth anything, who's making all the money here? Right? So something's wrong. And we got to fix that. Because you know what's happening? People are filing patents because of fear. And that's wrong too. And everybody's selling fear. How many people watch Shark Tank? Raise your hand. Okay, stop watching that show. They're selling fear too, aren't they? Every Friday night, I get a patent on that? Well, the bottom line is all the products that we see that get licensed, there's no patent. Never is. And I'll talk about that in a minute, reason why. How many patent attorneys do we have there? Raise your hand. Come on, I know you. One? Just one? Two? Three? All right. I'm not anti-patents. Because I'm a big patent holder, I have 20 within the federal court. Speak at the USPTO, they have to let me speak there. And they know my attitude about it. I just don't think you should patent everything. Right? And I think you should do it in such a way that you're careful. And you're smart. And you study the market and make sure you have something of value. That's what I'm talking about. So what I like to do is make sure my idea can be manufactured. Like I say, you don't see that patent very often. Most of them just come up with an idea. They don't even have a clue to how to manufacture. That's so important. The second thing, easy to demonstrate. I want an idea that's so easy I can explain it to a 7-year-old. They just get it, right? Easy, and also has a large market. The license an idea, it's got to have a big market or people won't be interested. Simple as that. Now, prototyping. How many people, this step number 3, how many people like to build prototypes? Raise your hand. All right, stop doing that too. And the reason why, because once you build that prototype, you love it, don't you? You love to play with it, right? You got to make it better too, right? And you don't do all the other stuff you should do. That's what it keeps you from moving forward, right? Because it's safe. It's a safe place to build prototypes. And what we're talking about when you try to reach out to companies, try to license ideas, you're going to get a lot of rejection. It's not a safe place. Building prototypes is what we're saying. But what we're seeing that people are licensing ideas, not with prototypes anymore. You see it with 3D computer modeling, right? No one's building prototypes at the very beginning. Because I can have this built, this is 3D, right? Looks real, doesn't it? Looks real. I can have this done for $50, $100 now. Wow, you're kidding me. I don't have to build a prototype. See, if you're an engineer, you've been taught that you have to prove that it works. And I'm telling you, you don't have to prove that at all. Because I want you to test the market first. I want you to test it to see if the company wants it. If they want it, trust me, you'll figure it out. A lot of products never come to market because they never figure it out anyway. So I wouldn't worry about that. So if I don't have to build a prototype, I can have someone create it to look like it's real. For about $50, they can take a ugly sketch on a napkin and make it come to life now. That's a great tool. You can find these guys. They do it all over the world now. It's just an amazing thing. So that's step number 3. Don't build a prototype yet. You might have to build it later if they want it, but not at the very beginning. Because I know you guys love prototypes and somehow you don't do the other stuff you need to do. Create a one-line benefit statement. Wow, this is really interesting. This is really hard to do. You need to summarize your idea in one sentence. One great sentence, you need to summarize your idea. And that's so hard to do because we want to go on and on and on and on. Now, what's it? Steve Jobs used to best have this 1,000 songs in your pocket when he launched the iPod, what is the iPod? 1,000 songs in your pocket. Wow. I want to see it, I want to touch it, give it to me. Great one-line benefit statement. So try to condense your idea in one sentence. And you'll use that wherever you go. You use it on your sell sheet, Your one-page advertisement, you use it in your description, your little subject line. You use it at trade shows. You use it everywhere. One-line business statement is really, really critical. That's step number 4. Step number 5, sell sheets and videos. The two tools that are being used today that work are a sell sheet. And the sell sheet's real simple. There it is. It's a one-page advertisement for your product. Simple one-line business statement at the top, big picture of your product, and some features. What does it do? The features. And the reason why I really love this, down below are the features, but they give little visuals of the features. Really clever. This is really a great sell sheet. That's all it is. It's a one-page advertisement. Very clean. And don't do it yourself. I know you want to. I know you think you can. Don't. Have a professional do your sell sheet. But tell them what marketing copy to have. And tell them what it should look and feel like. Go to an existing, if you're going to send it to a company, go to the company's website, take a look at it, and get it to look and feel like them a little bit. All right? Art direct it. That's what you need to do. And down below, there's a click here for the little video. Right? Because what's better than a sell sheet now are these 1-minute videos. How many people are familiar with As Seen on TV? Right? Pretty cheesy commercials, right? They're terrible. They're so terrible, they're fantastic. And the reason why, they sell 1 minute. 1 minute of a problem. Usually it's gray, black and white. People are frowning. I got a problem. 45 seconds later, there's rainbows. Music in the background. I'm happy. That's a great sales tool. 1 minute. And the only reason why you want to do 1 minute, if it's longer, how long is it going to take them to sell? See, I saw a 1 minute video, well, it wasn't a 1 minute, a video someone sent to me. It was 8 minutes long. No one's going to watch it. I didn't watch it. It's too long. You're asking too much of my time, and I don't even know you yet. Especially when you send an email sometimes to people. I just have to get these emails on LinkedIn, and they're like 2 pages long. I don't know that person, and they expect I'm going to read that. I don't do that. Send it to the sell sheet. Make it short and sweet. It's a billboard. Like you're driving down the freeway, you look up and see a billboard, and you get it instantly. That's a sell sheet. Very simple. The video needs to be the same way with 1 minute. It needs to be so effective. You just get it. And the company's going to call you. And you're not going to give them all the information, just enough to go, hey, my customer wants this. My customer needs this. And that's the greatest tool on the planet. Everybody's doing it. In fact, I saw one from someone here. Where are you, Dale? Dale does these 1 minute videos. He showed me yours is fantastic. And you did this yourself?
My best friend is a videographer, and I'm an actor.
It's fantastic. Yeah, and Steve, if you've got some people that can show them how to do this and maybe some of your meetings.
We have some speakers that we have coming up. We've had Rubio talking about.
Yeah, you learn how to do that. Either hire somebody to do it with your little phone, and you don't have to be the person presenting. You can do a voiceover, but it's amazing. Bring someone to do that, show everybody. That alone is worth your membership just to learn how to do that. Because it's so amazing. You can do that great selling tool on the planet. Do companies steal ideas? No, Steve, they don't. They do not steal ideas. You're going to hear a speaker next month, Josh Malone, and he's going to tell you a very different story than that. And it's his story. It's not a common story, but it's his story. You see, a lot of us think that companies are going to steal our ideas. I don't think that's true. I think they might try to work around your idea. I think today more and more companies are going to be more honest. They have to because of social media. I think the best protection you can have, type in the company's name, type in complaints and lawsuits and see if they're treating people fairly. That's the best protection you can have if you're licensed an idea. Whoever you're going to reach out to, type in their name, type in complaints, type in lawsuits, and they see a little problem there, avoid that company. Simple. Simple. Going to court I've been in federal court. I've been in my patents in federal court. I'm a patent holder for over 20. And I had a company that saw my technology, it's a rotating label. They loved it so much. I gave samples for them. We signed an NDA. I had 4 patents. Next thing you know, they put it on one of their products and became a #1 hit toy around the world. So I sued that little toy company. You might be familiar, Lego. And sure enough, I remember walking up the steps of federal court, seeing my name, Stephen Key Design versus Legos. I'll never forget it. I thought, what did I just do? It took 3 years of fighting, and eventually we settled 2 weeks before it went to trial. So I know what that's like, but I can tell you that's not that common. But we're fearful because we hear it on Saturday, we hear it on Friday night. You hear it from your patent attorney too. You gotta protect that. I saw it on my LinkedIn message just today. Someone was saying, "Hey, you've got to protect an idea." But here's the bottom line. Ideas go in and out of the market really fast now. You're lucky you can get 2 or 3 or 4 years maybe. Pretty fast. We'll do questions at the end. So, do some companies try to work around you? Yes, that's fair game. In fact, engineers are taught to reverse engineer stuff. I mean, they're taught to do that. So, knowing that, you have to file a provisional patent application, which is a great tool. And you need to put language in there. You need to steal it from yourself. And have that language and work around in that provisional patent application. Be smart about it. But realize at the end of the day, it's hard to take something to court, right? It's hard to fight. It takes $3 million to go to federal court. No one has that type of money. Even companies don't want to fight anymore. So the bottom line is this. The companies still ideas, yeah, this is a bad player. There always will be, always. Avoid those guys, right? Find the companies that have great customer service and tell your story first. Be the original. Go on social media. Own it. So when a company does do it, right, show it on social media. See, you have the voice now on social media. Use it. It's a great platform. The bad companies aren't on social media, but they are the very little. Why? Because they have a bad track record, and they don't want you talking about it. You can yell if your French fries aren't great at a restaurant now, and it affects those restaurants. It affects everybody. So you have a voice on social media. That's your best protection. But I think you're going to see less and less of companies stealing ideas. It's very rare. It does happen, but I think it's rare. You'll hear a story next month. It's a pretty amazing story. No patent required. Oh, geez, patent attorneys hate me to say this. On ideas that go in and out of the market within a couple of years, there's no patent required. The reason why? They go in and out. I can't stop Amazon. Apple cannot protect their technology, and they're the biggest company in the world. How many attorneys do you think Apple has? An army. They can't stop it. So why are we scared of it? See, so don't be scared of that. Right? And most ideas that I see that get licensed, 99%, there's never a patent. But there is a well-written provisional patent application. That you need to do well. Okay. That's the tool. That allows them, if they do want to file a non-provisional, they can, or you can. That's the tool. So don't rush out with fear and file a patent too early. Right? You want to test the market a little bit with the sell sheet, see if there's interest, work with the company. That's what you want to do before you rush out and file a patent. Right? Now, patents are really important, and we'll get to that in just a minute. We have students in over 60 countries. We see deals every single week. And the reason why we work really hard with our students, but there's only a provisional patent application. There's never a patent, ever. And that's kind of reality. And for me to give this talk at the USPTO, they let me in to say that. Can you believe that? They invite me back. I said the same thing. Why? Because it's balanced. And they know that 95% of all patents never recoup the money. Right? So they know that there's some truth to this. Yes, I want to go through this very quick. people ask me all the time, Steve, what categories can you license ideas in? Toys. That was a student, Scott Balance, done 40 licensing deals using our method. Ryan Stewart, one of the toy boxers from TV, is one of our students too. This hot dog microwave that was licensed to Warren Tuttle from one of our students. Pancake box was also licensed. Things in the pet industry, crazy stuff like this. See this over here? I love this. They licensed the name. Someone got a trademark, one of our students, and licensed the name to a company. How do you like that? Even a trademark got licensed like that? Brilliant. Of course, this is Informa. Hardware, geez. One of our students licensed to one of the largest automobile industry company a couple years ago. Can't even talk about it, but it was so good. The non-disclosures, like you can't say a word. And it's fair enough. In fact, that student never called me again after he signed that deal. He moved away, bought a new house, started a new life, and he called me back. Shame on him. I'm involved in this product, and this is what I love. This is the packaging industry. It's really a hard industry, but this particular product gets rid of the plastic rings on the 6-packs of beer. That's a big problem, right, for our environment. This is called fishbone packaging. I was just over in England last week, cutting the deal to get this on packaging. And what's really great about it, it's cheaper than the plastic rings. It's 100% biodegradable. All the big companies are looking for it now. And over in the UK, it's required now to get rid of plastic rings. Yeah, this is going to be a fun. This is going to be a fun game working with the big guys. Simple ideas are very different than big ideas. If you have a big idea that's going to require a lot of money, like capital, and time, like investment, you're going to need a wall of patents. That's when you need patents. If you have a technology that's going to require new machinery to put into a facility, and you need to protect it, and that company's going to invest all that time, you need patents. You need a lot of patents, and you need good attorneys, and you need to build a team, you need to do all those things. Yes, that's where patents are important. And they're not in every industry. It requires a wall. Any of the big ideas that require medical, automotive, packaging, these industries require patents. And that's why the patent system does work. The patent system is the greatest tool. The USPTO is your friend, too. And I used to think that they were trying to keep patents from me, but no, that's not true. They want you to have a patent. They have the greatest customer service. They are your friend. Get to know them. Take classes at the USPTO. It's a great organization, right? But we need to educate ourselves on writing good patents. We should write good patents. That's what we should be doing. My big idea is called Spinformation. It's a rotating label. It's really simple. It's 2 labels on a container. And one label is a label that's stationary, and there's a label on top of it. And the label on top of it has a little window. And you can spin. And when you spin it, you get extra information, 75% more space. We sold over 500 million labels. 500 million labels. And on one of them, Rexall Sundown, that one, there's 13 lines at the facility, and that one line was $250,000 of royalties just for one line. The minimum guarantees from CCL Label was $750,000 they have to pay me a year just to keep the contract. Right? And that made about $10 million at the end of the day. That seems like a lot of money, but this product failed. I like how a product that failed and made that much money. Failed. And failed because that should have been hundreds of millions of dollars. I was too young when I was launched that product, too inexperienced, and didn't capture the market. I had it, I just didn't have the experience. I wish I had someone that could have told me what to do. That's the reason why I missed that opportunity. Do not ever let that happen to you. That's why you need to network with people. You need to meet with people that have done it before. Ask them good questions. Don't be frightened of it. Ask. You have to network. I didn't network, and I made a huge mistake.
Yes, step number 6, build a provisional patent application. How do you do that? Do a Google image search, understand the landscape. Go take a class at the USPTO. Right? God, learn how to do your own searching. And I'm going to tell this quick story. I reached out to 100 companies where I built that rotating label, and every 100 company told me no. I got rejected by 100 companies. They all told me no. And one company told me yes, it was Rexall Sundown. And I went there and I couldn't get anybody to license it to. And finally, I went to a manufacturer, CCL Label, they said no. They had a competing product. I went to Rexall Sundown, they said we want it to take 50 million pieces. I went back to CCL Label and said, yeah, we'll give you a licensing deal. Next thing you know, I got a call from Procter & Gamble. They saw my rotating label, they had to come on out. Best day of my life. I cannot believe the biggest company on the planet called me. So I went out to that meeting, I brought my wife with me. So I put the red dress on. And let's go out to P&G. And she said, this could be the biggest mistake of your life. I just don't know it yet. I go, no, I'm going to get these guys. Went out there and the guy took us out to lunch on campus, Cincinnati. And we had lunch, and after lunch, we're going to the meeting. There was sunshine, it was on my face. I'm walking across the grass, feeling fantastic. And I thanked him for lunch. And he said, Steve, remember one thing. There's no such thing as a free lunch. What the heck just happened there? Sure enough, got the meeting. I walked in there, you walk through P&G, the technical center, the patents. I've never seen so many patents in my life. I get this room, they all line up, and I'm on the other side, and I take my little spin label, and I do exactly the only thing I know to do is spin the label. My wife gets up there and she does a little talk about marketing, and sure enough, a guy that didn't have the lunch has a piece of paper, slides it across the table. Stands up and goes, Mr. King, we're not going to pay you one penny for that idea. And they all got up money. That was it. They said one thing, one sentence. That was it. They all left. I looked at the paper and I said, what is all this? Huh. So I sent it over to my attorneys, and these were all prior arts. And sure enough, my idea was there. My attorney called me and said, I'm so sorry. Your idea, you didn't invent that rotating label. It was invented 70 years ago. And there's two kinds. It's not just a little bit like it. This is exactly my idea. I said, how could that be? I had someone do a prior art search. I paid $1,800 by a firm in DC. And they didn't find the prior art. That's why you have to do it yourself. You always have to do all this work yourself. And what happened, I was really depressed, but I read the patent over again. My patent attorneys are fantastic. I read it, and I realized there's something that was missing because it hadn't come to market. See, there's prior art, but it didn't mean anything because it didn't come to market. And what I realized, there was no manufacturing. No one knew how to make it. So those 20 patents that I have on this technology, 20 patents that make $10 million, were all on manufacturing. Completely skirted around it. So learn about patents. They're really cool things, but they're not for every idea. This was expensive because it was generating all this money, right?
You mentioned taking classes. Hennepin County Library does offer that. So just look it up. He's actually contracted with U.S. Patent Office. He offers classes every month or so.
I'm sure you can even bring someone in to talk about that too. You should.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why it's really great. Tell them some of the people that you want to come on in. They'll find someone. But that's the value, right, that we're talking about. So USPTO, take a class. Learn as much as you can about the prior art. And realize this. If it's not on the market, there's a reason why. I figured it out. There's no manufacturing. 20 patents made a lot of money for me. In fact, the company just purchased that whole patent portfolio just last year. Created revenue for 20 years. Up, down, also around, still made money. 20 years later, still made money. Build a prototype. The reason why you want to build a prototype, if you're going to file any intellectual property seriously, build a prototype. You have to. You have to know it. Because you're going to have to give your patent attorney the best advice you can. And the only way to do that is to know what works and what doesn't work. And that's why you have to build a prototype. Go to YouTube, watch as many things you can on YouTube about manufacturing. Absolutely do that. and steal it from yourself. See, when I was in that court with Lego, my attorney, he was a small gentleman, wasn't too tall. Their attorneys were 6'4", $3,000 suits. They were great. My attorney looked like he'd been in too many hockey fights. And I thought to myself, I am going to lose. But there was something in that original provisional patent application that got carried over to my patents. There was language that only a patent attorney could have put in there. And it was 2 words. And what was really amazing about it, I remember the judge asked me, Steve, can you explain your technology? And I said, it's really simple. I did not invent this rotating label. And their attorneys were like, you just said it. I said, I didn't invent it. I just invented how to manufacture it. And the 2 words caught them, right? So if you really have a big idea, you're going to have to find a good patent attorney, right? And realize you're going to spend some money, but it's not for all products, only for big ones, okay? I have a program called Smart IP. How many people know Gene Quinn, IP Watchdog? He's a great guy. If you don't, if you want to learn a little bit about what's happening in the laws in Washington, D.C., or just about patents, read his blog, IP Watchdog. He created software for us, patent software program for provisional patent applications called Smart IP. He made it really simple. It's the best program in the world, I think. Because he had a program he was selling for years. And I said, I want you to help my students with this program. He goes, Steve, it's no good. Because I know your students need more than that. It took a year to build a program. It's called Smart IP. So if you want to do it yourself, and I know you're a do-it-yourself group, right? Right? Okay. That's why you're here, right? All right. Okay. So if you want to learn about how to write a provisional patent application, even if you're working with a patent attorney, write them yourself. Right? And that's a great program. You might want to look at it. It's easy to do. It makes it really good. Gene Quinn is awesome in it. Include a lot of drawings. The drawings are worth 1,000 words. And make sure there's good drawings, not professional patent drawings, but good line drawings. Don't do a photograph. Don't do a sketch. Make sure they're great drawings. And have a lot of them. And I'll tell you the reason why you want a lot of them. You have to become an expert. The benefits really 1 year, fish off into the pier, see if anybody wants it. What I just told you is that you can create a cell sheet, get it to a company, and see if they want it. And you should do that really, really quick. It doesn't cost a lot of money. File a provisional patent application, you do a cell sheet, you reach out to a company. That's all it is. And you can do it fast. I used to do it in a day. I come up with an idea in the morning, do the cell sheet, file the PPA, call the company in the afternoon. Hey, what do you think? That's how fast you can do it. And you should be thinking about it that way, right? In fact, you can even call a company. You can skip the 2 methods. You can call a company right now. Let's say I have a new hammer that hammers nails straight every time. I can call a company that sells hammers, get someone on sales, and say, hey, I'm a product developer and I have a new hammer that allows me to work twice as long. I am twice as productive. Would you like to see my idea? I haven't shown you what it is. I just pitched it. I pitched it with a one-line benefit statement. I tested the market. See how you can do that? You have to learn how to do that. Describe your ideas so fast that you can talk to anything about it. But don't disclose anything. Don't say how you're doing it. You don't have to do that, but you can pitch fast. How do you find open innovation companies? Here it is. Steve, would you pass these out? I don't. Here you go, you guys. I don't have a lot of these. This book is called Getting In. And I'm going to make it really simple. I don't have a lot of them. If you want to get a digital copy, go to my website, printwrite.com, scroll down, you just get a free ebook. You know what this book is about? How to get in, how to talk to companies, what to say, how to use LinkedIn. All the things you need to reach out to a company fast. Because people are doing it the wrong way. And that book is going to show you exactly what to do. It's really simple. Follow the instructions. There's a template in there. My coaches put it together. My students put it together. And those are the latest tricks and techniques to get into companies really fast. And guess what? Just use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a wonderful site. But you got to be careful with it. You don't write a big paragraph or a page. You don't put a link in there. you want to be professional, and I'll show you exactly how it does that. So I'm not going to talk about it, but it's in the book. Get it. It's on my website, right? There it is, free, from eventbrite.com. Getting it. We write a lot about it. There's an article that just went to EAT too about Brian Diaz, one of our coaches, did a great article and had templates in that article of how to reach out to companies through LinkedIn. You can follow me on EAT.com, entrepreneur.com, forge.com. It's a great area. All right, Steve, how much time do I have?
I would say like 20 minutes.
Got it. Okay. I want to talk about this real quick because people ask me, Steve, well, they ask me all the time, why would someone license an idea if you don't know anything? Fair question, right? I don't have a patent, so why are they going to pay me? Fair question. You get asked that all the time. Here, this is how it works. I produce a sell sheet, I send it to a company, and eventually the CEO gets it. If the marketing person got it, they like it, and he walks it into the CEO. The CEO sees this and goes, the marketing guy walks in and goes, hey, look at this thing. This is really great. He's got a one-line benefit statement. Our customers want this. So he brings in the salesperson, brings in the marketing person, brings the manufacturing person in, and he says, all right, what do you guys think? Well, this is great. The marketing says, I love this idea. The salesperson says, we can sell a ton of these. Our customers are wanting this thing. The manufacturer goes, well, guess what? We sell something kind of similar. This is an improvement. It's better. And we already know there's a market for it. So then they bring in the lawyer, patent attorney. The patent attorney says real quick, well, does he own anything here? Why are we paying him? He goes, well, he's got a well-written provisional patent application. Look at all the workarounds. Look at the drawings. All this is done well. So he asks the patent attorney, he says, well, is he going to get a patent on this? And the patent attorney goes, I don't know. Because no one knows. No one ever knows. He can tell you maybe 10%, 20%, 50%, but he can't give you a yes or no. They don't know. It's impossible. That's the gray area. A well-written provisional patent application creates this gray area. And know what the CEO says? He goes, well, do we care about a patent? We got great shelf space. We know all the retailers. Our customers are going to love this thing. So why don't we just sell it? That's what he says. Because he knows parts go in and out quick. He also knows there's going to be some competition too. He knows all those things. But he knows good customer service, relationships. He's got great distribution. Why does he care about a patent? Is he going to sue somebody? When you can't protect it anyway anymore. That's the gray area. That's the reason why you need a well-written provisional patent application. It creates that time where they look at it and go, well, we could file it, we might get it, maybe yes, maybe no, but do we really care? That's the question. And they don't, right? They don't care. They care about selling. They don't care about protecting. They care about selling. And here it is, the win-win strategy. I wrote this book, and I think you have some up there still, maybe not. I wrote a book about how to sell an idea with or without a patent. And I think it's a really good book. It needs to be said. And that book I give away when I'm at the USPTO too. And it's funny to see the expression on their faces when I bring that book there. They had the grand opening in San Jose. They asked me to speak. They said, will you bring some books? Yeah, I'll bring some books. And so I'm there, I give my presentation, and they go, I hand out all the books and go, Steve, you're killing us with this stuff. Yeah, they keep on inviting me back because they know there's some truth to this, okay? And the truth is, companies, smart companies don't really care about patents. They're simple ideas. Their consumer ideas are going to go in and out. I just told you that. But this is how you get the deal. And it's in that book. And if you don't have it, get it. Because there's a strategy that we use at Eventbrite all the time. Very rarely do we see a licensing agreement that doesn't go through because we use this strategy. And it's really simple. Because that patent attorney, right, he wants to own something, right? That's the way you do it. If the product is patent pending, we will pay you a 5% royalty. If it issues, we'll pay you 7%. If it doesn't issue, we'll pay you 1% just for your hard work. I just took away all the fear. I took the fear of the unknown away. If you get it, fantastic. If you don't, you get a little bit. But here's the truth, this is the book. The grant of license in a licensing agreement is what are you granting to a company for them to pay royalties? It's called the grant of license. What is it? Is it a PPA, a trade secrets, know-how? What do you have that I'm going to pay you? Well, what we try to do is that we go back to the company and say, we need to open that up a little bit. Because there's going to be improvements. And those improvements are important for you to own. And for me to own too. So we want to open up that we can file more intellectual property in the grant of license. And they always say yes. And the reason why makes good business sense. That means I can file another provisional patent application and keep it patent pending longer. Does everybody get that? Yeah, sure. Do it again? Yeah. Okay, do it again. It's in the book too, but I'll do it again. Okay, the grant of license. What are you granting? What are you granting me? I'm a CEO. What are you granting me that I'm going to pay you a royalty? Well, I file a PPA. That's it. But I'm going to be probably making more improvements because those improvements, maybe manufacturing, maybe variations, those improvements are important to you, the company, the own, right? Yeah, absolutely, it's important for us. And since I give you an exclusive, you own them basically. Yes, I do. I want them. So I need to be able to add that. So instead of being that grant of license so narrow, I just opened it up really big. I throw in design patents. I throw in every IP thing I can in that grant of license. Because I can add to it later. Because I already cut the deal that the patent pending, right? If it's patent pending, you're going to pay me 5%. I mean, so I can file another one. I might be able to find a design patent. I'm going to find some way that they're going to pay me that piece. That's how we got the deals, guys. And they all agree. Because I took fear away. I took the unknown away. And I was able to add benefit by opening up the grant of license. If you want to know more about it, please pick up the book. It has that strategy. It satisfies everybody, is what it does. It satisfies everybody because of the fear of not owning something. It's a numbers game. All right. I'm very proud because I got someone nominated me to be a AAAS Wimbledon ambassador for 2018. And what that really means, the AAAS is an American Association of Advancement of Science. They've been around since 1848. And these are really smart people. And they're scientists. And they're developing world-changing inventions. And they asked me to be a member. And I couldn't believe it. I mean, I do little suction cups on your head, and I love you. How's that work? So I went through a very rigorous screening process. They took this out. They took all this out. They picked 8. And sure enough, I got accepted, selected. So my goal now is to talk about, that's one of the reasons why I'm here. Because I'm an ambassador for the AAAS and the Wimbledon. And Wimbledon, if you don't know, if you go to the Smithsonian and you look at all the inventions, it's the Wimbledon Foundation. So I got to meet some remarkable people. And know what they realized what I was doing? I'm an ambassador. That's why I'm here. My goal is to help you guys be successful, period. Regardless, you read my book, become a student, or read an article. That's my goal. And they recognize that because I'm not a scientist. And I don't have world-changing inventions. But I'm here to shine the light on inventors. Because inventors are invisible. Every product you deal with today has probably been invented by an inventor. But do you know who it is? You know who superheroes are. Well, why don't you know who the inventors are? Inventors are the superheroes. And we need to know about them. So that's going to be my job for the next year, is talk about it, write about it, and talk about some of these amazing inventors. In fact, I got to meet one woman that's a master inventor at IBM with over 500 patents. And she's in her 30s. I got to meet inventors that are changing the lives of people. It inspired me. I met a gentleman that has these sunglasses for people that are colorblind that can see color for the first time. It's the most amazing group of people, including me in this organization. So I'm very proud to be here tonight to talk about it. They have a video series. You can find them online. In fact, I think you passed it. I sent some things that went around. Those are free resources. You can find it on there. Watch those videos. They're just amazing people, and they included me. I can't believe it. That's the Lemelson too. So I'm here tonight for two reasons. You see, he's going to pass it out. I believe in giving everything away for free. That's probably a terrible business model. I never said I was smart at business. But I do believe you can do this. And he's going to pass out. This has a lot of free resources. You can buy one simple idea, not get it at the library. I have a directory. I set up a new company called IGA, Inventors Groups of America. We have over 500 companies listed in there that want ideas. If you become a member of IGA, you know what happens? You're voting for stronger patents. That's what's happening. And that's what I'm trying to do, to have that voice, because I know we're not being recognized on Capitol Hill. The USPTO does not recognize inventors and leaders like Steve. So if you join IGA, you get access to all this free resources. I think I have the largest resources in the world now at IGA. And guess what? It's all free. If you join, you become part of our community. So please take a look at it and see there might be some things there that you might enjoy. Right. And then you also see the Getting In book and some other stuff. And of course, our YouTube videos, over 400 videos on our different channel, all for free. So grab it, you guys. Because who likes free here? Raise your hand. And I know that with a lot of information, because of your attitude of do it yourself, you cannot do it yourself. And if anybody's going to promise they're going to do it for you, run for the hills. Because the truth is, it's really simple. People are going to sell you hope all the time. Don't buy into the hope. You're going to have to do the work yourself. And don't buy into thinking it's going to be easy. It's going to take hard work. That's life. And collect the no's. When you reach out to those companies, collect as many no's as you can, because there's a yes there. And be proud. Be courageous that you're doing this, because it's not easy to do. You're in the business of rejection. Right? That's what it is. So learn to collect the no's and smile through it, learn through it, build your community, be part of it, and build a team. And I'm really happy you got to listen to me tonight. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. You guys, does anybody have any questions? Yes.
I had a question about earlier when you were talking about which companies steal patents and intellectual property and which ones don't. Were you talking about the world or just the United States?
Well, there's a couple countries that are notorious for stealing stuff, and I won't go down that road. I'm just talking the United States, because most of us play just in the United States. It's a big, the United States is big, guys. And there's enough business here for everybody. I would say this. The best protection is find those companies that love inventors, right? And treat us fair. Find those companies. And avoid the rest. I think what's going to happen in the future, because of social media, those big companies that are treating this wrong won't be in business forever. They're going to have to change their tactics. They're going to have to, because we have a voice now. And if you're dealing with a company that's not on social media, there's probably a reason why. They don't want the complaints. That's a red flag. So if you're dealing with a company that doesn't get back to you quickly or treat you poorly, avoid them. Put them next guy. Find the ones that love you. That's what you do. It's the best protection. But yes, just the United States. Yeah. That's a great question. Do you bring the provisional patent to a meeting? Well, first of all, I don't go to any meetings. Because I used to go to meetings, no one would show up. or the right person that should be there is not in the room. And guess what? I do the song and dance, and then I have to leave. So how do you sell? You sell with the sell sheet, sells for you. You don't have to be a good salesperson. You can be so quiet, it doesn't matter. Because your sell sheet can sell for you. And what's happening today, how many people don't even want to talk on the phone anymore, do they? It's weird world. They don't want to talk on the phone. So you reach out to companies, you look at their policy, you submit your idea, and when they want more information, they want to know what you have, that's when you might ask them for an NDA. You'll probably have to sign those. Okay, and what's really great, once they do that, they might say, you see your provisional patent application? Absolutely. Read the fine print of all NDAs too. And guess what? NDAs are not federal, they're state by state by state. So they're not really a great protection vehicle either. But it has a level of professionalism. But no, I don't bring it to meetings. I don't show them everything I have. I kind of hold back my cards until it's appropriate time. We have a gentleman back there real quick.
Do you find,
Yes, jeez. So do you find with the rise in popularity of like drop shipping, this kind of speaks to like other countries that maybe steal patents and stuff like that. So now if you have an idea, you can go on AliExpress or Alibaba or anything like that and search for it, and you probably have a pretty good chance of finding it. And then you just have to set up a system to have it drop shipped to a customer base. Do you find that taken away from the amount of people who actually go through the effort to try to invent something when they can just use a resource like that?
You know what he's talking about, what's happening today? And I think that's really smart. A lot of people I know that don't even want to invent anymore. They just find something that's selling someplace else and they bring it over here. Right? I think it's brilliant. People are doing it all the time. Places like that with selling, I mean, here's the problem. I did an interview, I wrote an article for Forbes called 16 Ways to Protect an Idea. It had nothing to do with patents. Because I think it's impossible now. I think the way you protect it is having good relationships, building a social network, maybe a trademark. There you go, trademarks are important. Design patents are really important for people popping up on the internet selling stuff. Those are really great tools. Not a patent now, design, patent, and trademark. What a wonderful tools those are. I go through all these different ways of protecting ideas. So, because those companies love knockoffs. I mean, they survive. I did an article, I tried to interview Indiegogo and Kickstarter and Amazon for the article. You know what I'm talking about. You know what they want to know what they say? Consult with your attorney. Well, what's the reality here? The reality is you don't want to deal with it because you make too much money from it. So yes, that business model that you're talking about, why not? Why not? Okay, yes.
Steve, in lieu of, the sell sheets are great. I use them, but in lieu of a sell sheet, is it all right to use a wealth plan video website?
Yeah, videos are the best.
Right?
Videos are the best. They truly are, because everybody likes to watch a video now, right? And if they're fun to watch, and you get it, and you see it. Now, if you don't have a prototype, you can also use a 3D generated sample to show how that works too. I've seen that too. Videos are the #1 tool people are using today to license ideas. All our students use them. It's almost required. Now, it's a really simple idea. But yes, the videos. Yes, I'll get to you in just 1 second. Yes.
The grant of license strategy you talked about, which book did you delineate that?
It's the one with the good-looking guy on the cover. Did I actually say that? Well, it's a gun version. So anyway, that's the book. It's the blue book. And what a painful book to write. I mean, who would write a book about that? That's like writing a patent. That's what it tries to get. It's a good read. People enjoy it. It gives you all the strategy of how to win at this. Get it. And I only did it because it has great value in books. If you don't make money on books, if people tell you they make money on books, you don't make money on books. Yes.
You mentioned giving your ideas to, or selling your ideas to companies. Do you target specific departments or just look for an submission?
So who do you contact? It's really simple. You'll get that. I think it's in the book, I'll explain it real quick. If I've got a product that I think should be at Walmart, right, I go to Walmart. I just go down to the store, I find that shelf, and I might even ask the manager, here's my idea, and where would that be? Right? Or I just go down myself, and it's going to be there on that shelf. Those are all the companies. Now, do I actually call them? Yes and no. You can call them direct, and I talk about that too in the book. Call them, I'm a product developer. Hi, my name is Stephen P. I get the gatekeeper. Treat gatekeepers. Be polite to everybody. Because those gatekeepers are so wonderful people, and they know everybody. And you're going to have to come back to the gatekeeper again. Make friends, spend a little bit of time, ask them. Don't try to bypass the gatekeeper. Don't do that. Those are really important people. I'll say, hi, I'm Stephen P. I'm a product developer, or I'd like to submit an idea to your company. Who may I speak to? They don't know who. I know they don't know. So I might say, I'm not quite sure. I said, how about someone in the marketing department? The product manager is a wonderful person, but that person is very hard to get to. So the next person is someone in sales. The reason why I like people in sales, if they like it, they're going to sell it for you too. And guess what? Those guys love to talk. They're going to pick up the phone every single time. Those are the people you want to reach out to. Sales or product manager. Right? The two people you got. Product manager is the best. They don't care where a product idea comes from. They're responsible from front end to the back end.
Over here.
Yes.
Can you license to more than one company at a time?
Oh, you want to double dip, do you?
Well, to one product, but it kind
Yeah,
of
you can.
fills different
Yeah, you can.
angles of the market.
Yeah, you can absolutely do that. You could, you just have to make sure your companies aren't stepping over each other, they're not competing with each other. But you can definitely, you know, when Disney gives a license out for t-shirts, this is, I think, a pretty good example. They'll give a license to someone that sells at Nordstrom's high-end, Macy's high-end, and then they'll give a license to someone that sells at Target. And then they give a license that sells someone over here, because they know everybody doesn't do everything. So yes, if you got an idea that you can cut the category up a little bit, or maybe the territory up a little bit, you can slice and dice those deals. Yes, absolutely. It's not that common, but you can do it. Absolutely. Yes.
Hi, Rafael Thomas. Thanks so much for sharing today. You kind of answered a little bit earlier, but in regards to who you target from a value chain perspective, do you always go for retailers or sometimes suppliers, or kind of who do you choose to make sure you want?
I never go to retailers. Retailers don't license. Retailers, you know what they do? They might have their own private label brand, and that's usually generics. Because let's say I'm Target, I'm selling toilet paper from P&G. So why don't we make our own toilet paper? It's just generic. Or mustard, or mayonnaise, or ketchup, right? So they don't really get out in the innovation space very much because it's risk. And they don't like to play the risk game because they own the shelf space. So I don't have to take risk, but I'm going to find some product that's really doing well, and I'm going to knock it off, put it on my own shelf. So don't reach out to retailers. Now, one way you want to reach out to retailers, if, you know, sometimes you get an idea, you keep on pushing it up the hill, right? You get tired, don't you? You're pushing that idea, you're pushing that idea. Well, find a retail buyer, show it to a retail buyer and say, hey, did you order this? That's what I did with the rotating label. I found an end user that wanted it. You see, because if I go to a retail buyer and say, hey, would you carry this? What do you think? They go, yeah, I like this. Tell me more about it. I go back now to someone that would manufacture and go, hey, I just showed it to a Target buyer. They love this. The marketing helped pull it through. But I don't think retailers like it. No. I don't. Yes.
Does any of your resources address selling processes that improves a company's existing process?
Ooh, method of doing business. I love that. That's a little bit more complicated, but you can patent that, a process. It's a method of doing business. You have to make sure that if it's software, there's some hardware too, kind of. But if you've got a new idea for a new drive-in restaurant that no one's ever done it before, and there's a process of steps that has certain results, and people are really interacting with it, yes, you can have that. Absolutely, I think you can. Software is really difficult to patent these days, always has been. But you got a good patent attorney that specializes in software, add a little hardware to it, navigate it, you can also get that. Yes.
Thank you for being here tonight, by the way. This has been a really great presentation. I have a two-part question. For someone brand new at this and getting a lot of ideas about different products, what would be a good kind of first step, a good industry to target? Say I have ideas across a broad spectrum of different industries. Are toys a good kind of gateway to go into? A household, you know, I just wondered if there's a good stepping stone. And then my second part of the question is, you mentioned all the no's, you smashed through all the no's. At what point, when you get 100 no's, do you stop and toss the product out and say this got to be a dud and move on to your next idea?
That's a very good question, by the way. The first one now.
Which industry
Oh, what is
how
it?
do you start thinking your first thing?
Okay. Someone asked me recently, what industries where I can make the most money? I thought it was really nice. I haven't really written about that before. I wrote it for, and you can find that on Inc.com. And I think some of the information I'm going to share tonight will be also in the article. Toys is tough. That's a tough industry. Just because we've done a lot of creativity and using the product developers for the, and that industry has been using licensing forever. They built a whole industry of licensing. So there's a lot of competition. That's a tough industry. I think the hot industries today are the pet industry. It's on fire, always will be. People love their animals. That's not changing. Number two, kitchen. Kitchen's on fire, right? Maybe a little less so, maybe the younger. I just heard some information about if you're gearing product towards a younger generation, they're not cooking as much, maybe a little tougher. Okay, but kitchen has one of the biggest shows in the planet, Chicago, 4 football fields, and that's small compared to the show in Germany. Yeah, see, okay, so I like the kitchen, I like the pet, I like hardware, I like that industry too. But not the gift industry, just keep stuff like this fast. So they love it. That industry is really easy. The problem is you come up with a seasonal idea. So you can sell for that one, probably 60 days. So if you have a novelty, make sure it's something that will sell every single day. DRTV, as seen on TV. That's a scary industry for me. That industry doesn't abide by anybody's rules. They do anything they want anytime they want.
And they're all related.
Pretty much. They all know each other and they all don't mind taking things from each other. There's just so much to be made. But there are some really good ones out there. The one I really like has been All-Star Products. That's a tough industry. But when you do have a hit, you make a lot of money really fast. But they only take a small percent. So it's a very, you know, if you're just shooting for as seen on TV, I say it's too narrow. You got to submit all these different types of categories. But it's a wild west. But that's part industry. There's a lot of money in it. And then the other one I really like would be health, you know, the fitness. That's a tough industry. A couple major players aren't too open to it and get in. Promotional, yeah, that's pretty interesting. Money there, promotional items, have their own trade shows. There's a trade show for everything, isn't there? I mean, just about. So yeah, those are a few, and I write about it too. But take the simplest idea you can. Start with that. Start with an idea you don't even care about. How's that? Take an idea you don't care at all, right? Call the company up, ask them about submitting it, put on a sales sheet, go through the whole process so that becomes so natural for you. It's no big deal. It's a throwaway idea. That's what I want. I have no idea. You know, maybe you put it away and do something else and come back to it. But I'm glad I didn't say no. I'm glad I didn't walk away from my label. Are you? So I don't, good question. I don't have the answer. Trust your gut, right? And if you really feel it, don't stop. But if you get really tired, put it down and do something else. One thing real quick, protect your creativity. It's magical. And this industry will destroy it if you're not careful. Does everybody get that? See, you're here because you have something that's magical. And that's childlike, right? And you let that space, I don't know, it's going to just protect it. And when you do that, do it at a certain time of day, reward yourself with that time. And build that creative muscle up. And then put on a hat that you're going to sell it now. And that's an adult hat. That's the hard hat. That's the hat that you got to be tough and have a tough skin. Because don't put them together, because it will take away your creativity and you'll lose it. And she's going, it does, huh? The business world is cruel, but you can do it today like no other day. You guys, I've seen so much success so fast for people that next time I come out here, I'm going to have some of you guys are going to license the deals. I can't wait to come out here and say, Steve, I did it, because you can't do it. Steve did it recently. Have fun with this. That's the whole thing. Have fun. Don't get too serious. And don't let fear stop you from doing anything. Forget it. Kick it to the curb.
I gotta say, this is the most informative meetup I've ever been to. Tony Robbins, eat your heart out. You got a new fan and they got a new member. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you for saying that, because people ask me, why do I do this all the time? And I do it because I see myself sitting there. And I wish someone had guided me a little bit. Right? So thank you for saying it.
Thank you. And the question would be, what if you don't have a PPA, or if it is about to hit that year mark, what are you granting them if you don't have a PPA? If it's a simpler idea.
File another one. And to do this, that's a great question. When if my PPA is going to expire? Well, you have a year. You better work fast. And what I told you is that you can do it really fast. And so do it fast. Don't wait for a year to come up and go, now what do I do? If you haven't publicly disclosed it, that's why you don't put it on your website. And if you do reach out to a company, you have them sign an NDA, you haven't publicly disclosed it. Actually, when you offer something to license, that doesn't set that bar either. Technically, I hate to argue that point. But don't run out of time. But if you do run out of time, if you publicly disclose it, make a small improvement on it. Then file it again. All you've done is lost a year. That's what I did.
I've got one that is a real experience of mine, and I'd like your thoughts on that. I designed and prototyped and patented a device which was only sellable in one industry. It was a natural gas meter that was electronic, and it could tell exactly how much gas was being consumed, and it could make a fingerprint of your residence or your business or whatever over a period of a week or two, and then it would know if something went awry, like a pilot went out somewhere. That was that sensitive. And I could not get any of the gas companies in America, but I didn't go outside of America, to, I got a lot of excitement, a lot of interest. I was called back to Las Vegas 4 different times, and they paid all my expenses to talk to the president of Southwest Natural Gas, which has got a big part of the United States. Once they showed it to their attorney on my 4th meeting. They had all the engineers and everybody there, and the attorney said, "You mean this little box can tell when our customer has a problem with his gas service?" Yeah, isn't that amazing? Think of the lives we could save, and the property we could protect. Oh, he said, think of the liability. Right now we're fat, dumb, and happy. We don't know about any of that stuff. If we know, had a way to know about it, we're all over.
No, you know what he just said is really interesting. My wife, when she was at Gallo Winery, she was working on champagne, and a lot of people end up popping short and get damage their eyes. And I came up with a really simple solution. It was so dumb, I couldn't believe it. She walked in there and she told it, said, "Go ahead and bring that in again." And the reason why you're accepting that there's a problem, you're identifying there's a problem there. So you're right about that. For big ideas like that, you just got to find the right. What I found with big ideas, you got to find that spirit within a company that wants to be
trailblazer. You need to find that one engineer within a company that doesn't want just to go to work to cut the paycheck. He wants to go to work to change something, to hang his hat on something. If you're dealing with some of these companies, try to find that champion, try to find that Superman within a company that doesn't want a paycheck. Wants to make a difference. Those are the people you need to find, because those people can move mountains.
We're going to take 2 more questions, and Stephen has vowed to talk, to meet and greet anyone in the room. You can have something a little bit longer. You can still ask him personally. As you can tell, there's a lot of other great people you might want to talk to. We've got a lot of wonderful inventors in the room, like John. Pam invented something called the 1 second needle. If you ever have a problem with threading a needle, okay, these are the sort of things that we've done. So, and you might want to talk to some people as well. So, 2, 3 more questions. It's like got one back there. This one.
Okay, thank you.
No, I'm forgetting my question, but Stephen, it's Marge in the back. And I got you way back in 2005, and I was gonna say I had that same problem with John, where a company didn't want a license because they wanted to vary. I had one company that wanted to buy the patent from that group, from the VC group, so that it could be used defensively, so nobody else would use it. So now with crowdfunding, that's why I'm doing crowdfunding, because you have your own route to market to at least be seen. So we'll see what happens, but I was gonna say to her, you're right, just, if you internally know that it's a worthwhile project, just put it aside for a while and go back at it, but it's still a learning process, so your other inventions, weren't they always easier? I mean, it was all education.
Yeah, let me tell this one story real quick. I really like that. I love crowdfunding. I mean, because it's not 3 people in a room anymore, it's the crowd voting. I love that. You took away the power of 3 people in the room making the decision. I love that. But you have to be careful with crowdfunding too, right? Crowdfunding, basically, I'm going to quote what someone said, basically a catalog for knockoffs. Whoa. Now, what's crazy about that, I did write an article about how to stop copycats, of how to deal with that too, because you can, and there are ways. But the point I'm trying to make is, I like the public to vote now. I think that's such a cool thing. It just recognizes showing the world with it too. It's like, ha! So there's a strategy. Hopefully you don't become a Josh Malone and get $1 million. Because that's what happened. Josh was able to get $1 million, a bunch of balloons, and everybody and their brother saw it. But hopefully he tells that story too, because that's kind of what happened. So you have to be a little bit careful with. But let me tell you one thing about crowdfunding that does work. The story about the automobile that I told you about, the truck technology, the big company wouldn't. This student had 2 patents, which is kind of unusual. Had 2 patents, went to the big companies, the big auto companies, and they said they didn't want to do a deal. They want to do a deal. They finally offered a couple $1 million. So what? And I thought that was a lot of money. And but the person wanted to hold out for more, so we had a strategy. How do we get these guys to do something? So sure enough, they did a crowdfunding, put on crowdfunding, so the public would see it first. And so that big auto company could claim that they invented it. Right away, they contacted them, wrote them a check, took it down, and they moved. So that's what works.
Right, you're gonna have people come out of the woodwork, good and bad, right?
At least I can tell more of that stories is that they won't talk anymore because they signed some NDAs and stuff like that. So it's too bad because I think it was a brilliant strategy and it worked, especially getting the big guy to do something. That's kind of hard to do at times.
Stephen, thanks for coming tonight. For those of us that have way too many ideas and not enough time to pursue all of them, is there any advice you have for first filtering those ideas down to the ones you want to work on, and then secondly, testing to see what people want before you actually go pitch to potential?
Well, there's a lot of ways of doing surveys, right? There's some things you can do with that, a little bit of exposure to get. I like to get a company. I want a company's opinion really fast. How do you will it down? I don't know. I like to find ideas that can be manufactured, big market, easy to describe. I like an idea where I can walk up to my friend in the neighborhood and go, "Hey, what if you had an idea that did this? What do you think?"
You say can or cannot.
That can't be manufactured. But I want to
to be able to ask anybody and pitch it right away. You see, I think you can pitch ideas without doing half the stuff I talked about tonight. I think I can pitch a benefit of an idea without even showing them what my idea is. Pam's got a great idea. You can, the little needles that you're sewing, you can't see that. How do you get a thread through that? Well, she came up with a brilliant idea, so anybody can thread it. But she could have called the company up right away and said, look, I've got a new needle that allows anybody. In fact, you could be blind and you could still thread it. They would all say, what do you got? So I pitched it. And how hard was that? Pretty simple, right? So think of it that way. That's what I would do. Now, before we end, I'm going to do one thing. I do this at every event that I'm at. I like to do a family photo. And I want everybody, if you had a good time tonight, raise your hand and tell me about it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Awesome. Thank you.